Okay.
So if the original price was $200 for this CD player, and they first reduce it by 20%. 20% means 20 out of 100. Of means to multiply, so 20% of 200. And again, we'll talk more about percents later, but they reduce it by 20%. 20% of 200 is $40. So they reduce it by $40. It's down to $160. So already this is not right, because they still have another reduction to do. The final price is supposed to be $170, and I'm already below that. So this is too little, which means A and B are also too little. So let's try again. $250. If they take off 20% of $250, they're taking off $50. So that's $200. And then if they take off 15% of $200, they're taking off $30, which makes the price $170, which is what we want. So D. And again, if you're not real good with percents, that's something we are going to go over. So, okay, this one is hard, not because the math in it is hard, but it requires that you remember a theorem from geometry, which says any two sides of a triangle must add up to more than the third side. Okay. So we have three sides here, 2, 3, and this R that our answer choices represent. So this is, which of these could R be so that any two would add up to more than the third one? So if I pick 2, let's say R is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5, which is more than 2. 2 plus 2 is 4, which is more than 3. 3 plus 2 is 5, which is more than 2. This one is the right answer. Let me show you why the other ones are not right. Let's say that if you had picked 5, right? Say that you thought D was right. Is 2 plus 3 more than 5? No, so it can't be 5. Same reason why it can't be 6, because 2 plus 3 is not more than 6. It can't be 1 because 2 plus 1 is not more than 3. It can't be 0.5 because 2 plus 0.5 is not more than 3. The only one that you can have RB, where any two would add up to more than the third one, is C. Does that make sense? So this one is hard because if you don't remember that theorem from geometry, you can't work that problem. Okay. The last strategy, like general strategy that we're going to talk about, is called estimating, and you should always be doing this strategy. You may not be conscious of the fact that you're doing it, but you should be doing it. A rough estimate a lot of times may be all that's necessary. For example, if I have this problem on my SAT, this says when 0.20202 is multiplied by 10 to the 5th and then subtracted from 66,666, the result is what? Well, if you just kind of estimate what this should be, if I multiply this by 10 to the 5th, that means I'm going to move the decimal 5 to the right. So this is going to end up being 20,202. And I'm subtracting that from 66,666. So about 20,000 subtracted from about 66,000. The answer is E. I don't need to put it in the calculator. I don't need to actually figure out the amounts. This is the only one that makes sense for those numbers. So estimating sometimes can get you the right answer. And the nice thing about that is it saves you so much time. If I don't reach for my calculator and start typing these things in, then I've saved myself that time that I would take to do that, to do another problem. So, 2 advantages to solving the problem this way. You avoid having to do that last step of subtracting, and you gain yourself some time, and you avoid the possibility of making a careless mistake in the last step. Here's another estimating example. Sorry, wrong way. And it's kind of hard to tell on here. But it says what fractional part of the square is shaded. And I'm going to say that by shaded, I mean the white squares because the background is red. It doesn't really matter because it's the same number of squares either way. But you can kind of estimate this. I know that it's not almost the whole square. I know it's not just a little bit of the square. So I may not be able to estimate my way to the right answer. I need to actually count the squares and figure it out because these are all kind of close, especially these two. But I can eliminate answer choices and save myself a little bit of time. So if you actually count the squares, there's 16 squares. 8 of them are shaded, 8 of them aren't. So it's exactly half. Let's see. Yes. But you can see that 2 out of 4 in each row are shaded, so there's exactly half. Okay, lots of ways to kind of estimate your way to the answer on that. Okay, so you're going to do now the estimating quick quiz, which is quick quiz number 3. So again, I'll give you about 5 minutes for this one. And again, you may not be able to estimate your way to the right answer, but you can estimate and eliminate some answer choices and then work it out. But try seeing if you can estimate the right answer.